Actually,
hello?
oh,
Back. Go on.
Oh. Has she got off? Is connection dropped?
Yeah. Yes. Don't know if it's mine. Oh, I'm back again. It's back again.
yeah, that's right. Fine, that's fine. I could have heard you. Yeah, actually, if I have sent you a link before, then you need to submit that link. If I have sent you, then that's fine. If I have not, then what I will do, I will resend you a link. Using that link, you need to upload your assignment. What happens that when you use, because you sent direct, that's fine, that's very fine with me. There is no problem, there is no harm with that. But if using that link, if you submit your assignment using that link, so what happens, automatically the system generates a receipt for that assignment, and there is a proof, there is an evidence that you have submitted that work to the tutor. So that's why I will send you that tonight or morning. I will send you anyhow. I will send you that link. You have sent me assignments. That's fine, no problem. But if you can upload the assignments there as well, then it will be better. It will be in your favor because you will receive an evidence as well and receipt as well.
I don't receive any more emails from you. Hello?
Yeah. Sorry.
I don't receive any more emails from you. Like
Actually,
the link, I didn't get the link in an email. I went on the Moodle to try and find the where you upload it, but I couldn't find it.
Okay. Then I sent to someone else. Anyhow, I will send the link to you, email to you, the link.
Yeah.
And if you upload using that link, if you upload your work, then it will generate an automatic receipt for you as well. Because obviously I cannot, I can say I will send you an email, acknowledge an email that I have received your work. That will be as obviously that will be an evidence that I have received. And then obviously I will mark it and we'll let you know.
Okay.
Yeah. So I will mark it. Then I will let you know what. Hopefully, because I haven't seen it, so hopefully it will be all fine. Then I will give it to the internal verifier IB. Then they will have a look. Then obviously sometimes it happens. Mostly it doesn't happen, but there is always an agreement. But sometimes it happens that the assessor work and the IB work, sometimes their assessment and my assessment, there could be some contradiction or there could be some kind of conflict. Most of the time it doesn't happen, but sometimes it happens as well. So I will give you my feedback, but after consultation with IB, then that will be the final one.
You know, the assignment that I sent last night is only a draft. I'll send the one after we get off this conference.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. You have said, okay, that's fine. So I will have a look at your draft as well, and if there is anything there, if that's fine, then that's fine. If there's any suggestions, definitely I will give to you.
Okay, thank you.
And for submission assignment, I will send you a link.
Okay. You know the email that you're sending it to, is it the correct email?
My personal email?
No, my email that you're trying to send it to, is it the right email? Because my name in the email is spelled differently.
Because I have been sending you a few emails, is it?
Yeah.
You have been receiving those emails?
No, I haven't received anything. I don't receive anything from you.
Since we started, you haven't received any emails?
One or two, and apart from that, I haven't received any. After that, this year I haven't received anything.
All right. I will maybe there's some writing difference or maybe. But if that happens, then what happens if the email bounces back? It comes back to you if there is any mistake.
Yeah, I think it's probably the way my name is spelled. I'm not sure. It's spelled differently in the email.
All right. Okay. No, I can't see from here. If I go back to usually the email that is registered there at in the system at the join me, I use that one. That is the correct one.
Pardon?
The email that is just in system.
Yeah, FARAAHEEN.
Yeah, Fahim.
How is it spelled?
It comes with uppercase F, is it?
Yeah.
So this uppercase F is the part of your ID name.
No.
I mean email. Huh?
I think you can write it anyhow with uppercase and lowercase, but it's FARAAHEEN@hotmail.co.uk.
Okay. So what I do tonight, I will send you email with a link, and with that I will text you as well that I have sent you an email. Then reply me back that have you received or not.
Okay.
If there is anything different, then we will sort that out.
Okay.
All right. Okay. And with that, I will give a look to your draft. If that's fine, if that appears fine, that's fine. We'll take that one, and I will ask. I will tell you. You can start working on that one. If it needs to be, if I can give any suggestion, definitely I will give to you. A few things I uploaded on Moodle, one or two generals. On Moodle, I uploaded on Moodle.
Yeah.
Journals. Sorry?
Just uploaded, sorry.
Have you seen them?
Journals.
No? Sorry?
What did you say? Journals?
Yeah, some articles. They are basically some articles.
Yeah. Yeah. I looked at some last night.
Okay. There are some articles very much relevant to some recent researches in NHS under multidisciplinary teams, some communication things, and so many other different topics. They were discussed. They are the latest some reports. That there are two, I think, that I uploaded, and they were for you and for anybody who wants to them. They are very much relevant to this unit, so I uploaded them under this unit multidisciplinary team. They are there. Sorry. So, all right, with that one, we come to our point, and with that, our unit will be covered of 5.11, working with multidisciplinary teams. So in this unit, we looked at the meaning of multidisciplinary team, how these teams they work, what are different kinds of conflicts and problems, then what are the barriers, what are the impacts on service users and stakeholders. Then now we are left with our final fourth learning outcome, that is about the communication issues, or the barriers, are the communication issues in multidisciplinary teams, and how these issues they affect the stakeholders, and what is the impact of those communication issues, and what are the communication skills, how those issues can be resolved. So today, in this time, I am covering 4.1 and 4.2. Practical communication issues and to communicate effectively in MDT. 4.1 and 4.2 I will be covering, while because it's too much these one equal opportunities in service delivery and stakeholders, engagement of stakeholders, these are different outcomes. So I will be covering these outcomes next time when we meet up. 4.3 and 4.4 I will cover next time. 4.1, 4.2 I am covering now. So these are about the communication issues in multidisciplinary teams, and this is about the ways, what are the issues, or we can say what are the barriers in communication in multidisciplinary teams, what kind of issues could arise while you are working in a multidisciplinary environment where people from different expertise, backgrounds, and professionalism are there, and how you can promote effective communication while you are being part of multidisciplinary team. So we will look at these two, 1 and 2, one by one. is, I wrote break into, because I will send it to you and I will this is LO 4.1 and LO 4.2. This is what I'm copying. Okay, so as we have said, we have said so many things about the working of MDT. So the importance of communication in every field is very, very important, but especially while we were working in health and social care, it becomes very, very much important. You were once when we were having this online meeting, online session, then you quoted examples of your workplace where you get a chance to work with a person who was, if I'm not wrong, deaf, dumb, and blind, I think. And you were part of the team, and there you saw that the people might be using, I think that is the only way of communication, this sign language, then the lip reading, these kind of things. So the communication in health and social care, it's everywhere it is important, but sometimes if you are working in different kind of environment, if you are speaking less, you are not communicating with others, okay, you can do your work, things to come. But in health and social care, it is a very, very important because you are working with vulnerable individuals. They are dependent on you, or any misconception, any misunderstanding can lead to serious consequences for the patients or for the service users who are under your charge. Your body language, your face gestures, the way you sit, the way you talk to these service users, that all affects. So the good communication is a very, very important to enable patients to make informed decisions about their care. Sometimes in most of the cases where, for example, we take the example in cancer setting, if any person is discovered or is diagnosed with a cancer, then at that time the communication of your communication as a sport worker, health worker, being a part of being part of HSC, health and social care, becomes very important to communicate that news to the service user and to give them the option of treatment, and all the steps is very, very important. In the same way, if, for example, if a lady is diagnosed, is a pregnant woman, a pregnant woman is usually when a woman gets pregnant, and there are different kinds of tests that are carried out with a normal standard procedure to check, to diagnose that if the baby inside may or may not be having any kind of physical or mental disorder. So these kind of tests they are carried out. Sometimes it happens that the results are negative, means that the unborn child could be having any mental or physical disorder. So in that case, the mother going to be, or the woman, is given options: abortion, or if she wants to or if she wants to carry on with that. In those situations, the correct usage of words, the timing, tone of voice, face gestures, they become very, very important in those cases where you are going to tell your service user, the person you are working with, something or any decision, any choice that is not going to be easy. Your role as a part of health and social care, working under NHS, your role becomes very important while communicating in these situations. As we discussed in MDT's multidisciplinary team, you can have the idea that how communication is vital, is important, while you are part of a team where people, different heads are there, people from different fields are there with their own expertise, their own qualifications, their own experience. So any such mistake can any such mistake in communication, errors, or misunderstandings can affect the life of patient or service user adversely. It can sometimes different cases of death, like they are quoted as ignorance, medical ignorance. Actually, those medical ignorances that are claimed as medical ignorance, they are basically the result of lack of communication. In MDTs, people do not communicate with each other, or sometimes things are taken for granted, or sometimes it is taken like the things are understood automatically, but it doesn't happen. That is the point where these problems they arise, where the ultimate damage, the ultimate sufferer is the patient, the service user. If the professionals in a team, the experts in a team, they are not communicating effectively with each other, and things are just left on the intelligence of a person, intelligence of the other person, it's up to them how to get on with that situation, how to understand that situation. In these circumstances, the service user affects, and all these medical negligences. Behind those medical negligences, the main part is that of lack of proper communication. So that's why we are saying here, we have written few points here, that positive and effective communication can help to keep team members motivated and working at their best. Positive and effective communication is crucial between all team members, regardless of the role each person plays. Because regardless of the role each person plays, no matter what your position in the hierarchy is, your the awareness of your own responsibilities and role, and the communication among you with all the team members is of crucial importance, and any misunderstandings or they can have serious consequences because you are working with vulnerable individuals. So if we look at, so this shows in uh, in all circumstances, the body language is very important, but especially in health and social care, your body language conveys meaning because you must have seen, or you must have, I don't know, you must have worked with people, or you must have seen, like in care homes, there are people with dementia, there are people with some learning disabilities, behavior issues, some emotional disorders, mental disorders. While you are with those ones, your face gestures, your tone of your voice, your body language conveys different meanings to different persons. It is important that how you communicate, and it is important to know the skills of communication, effective communication, while you are part of a multidisciplinary team. So different are the skills of communication we have listed them here, like listening, empathy, patience, and hostility. So we will go to them one by one. So in so if we talk about the listening, so obviously if you won't listen, if you won't listen properly, you are unable to respond properly. A good listening is integral to good communication. So communication is about, what is communication? So communication is about exchange of thoughts, exchange of ideas, conveying of messages, receiving of messages, and this is especially important in health and social care environment. Listening can help ensure that everyone in the team knows uh, what what everyone is thinking. When someone is speaking, it is important to focus on their face rather than letting your eyes wander. This line is important. As earlier I said that the people could be with dementia, some disabilities like hard of hearing, these kind of things. So these patients, these service users, they rely more on face expression. They read your lips, they read your face expression, the messages that you convey from your face and your lips, they read them. So that's why in those situations, they look at your face, they look on your face, and they sometimes feel that they're staring you, but actually they are reading your face. So in those situations, the effective communication, the control of the ways to what you are conveying from your body language or gestures becomes very important. Then comes empathy. Empathy is important quality, but in health and social care it is of utmost importance. So what is empathy? If we say this is someone, sometimes a phrase we use, put yourself in the shoes of others. Like if someone is expressing their problems before you, they are sharing their problems with you, they are stating them before you. So instead of just feeling sympathy for them, empathy is that you put yourself in their place. You feel that if that had happened with you, if that occurs to you, what your feelings would be, what your reaction would be. That is empathy. So in a multidisciplinary team, in order for teamwork to be effective, it is important to be open to the opinion of others and to understand their position on any given issue. It is about give and take. Empathy is about putting yourself in someone else's shoes and is a good way to improve workplace communication skills. So this is empathy. Then comes patience. If we rush what we say, others may find it difficult to understand what is being communicated. So in the same way, if we come across as uh, impatient when others are trying to get their points across, we are more likely to lose focus and not hear what they are saying. For good communication, it is important to be methodical. Take points one at a time, both when talking and when listening. So the other thing comes positivity. So positivity means maintaining a positive attitude at work. So maintaining a positive attitude at work is not always something very easy. But anger and bitterness are not only negative emotions, they can contribute to misunderstandings and conflict. It is important to try to view problems and difficulties as challenges, be positive, and look at ways of overcoming them, rather than letting them become a major ongoing burden. There are so many you will find skills of effective communication. You will find full units on this topic, but while in MDTs, these listed ones, they are uh, they are in under multidisciplinary teams. They are all right. They are fine. You will find. I will send to you as well, and I will upload as well on the Moodle few more skills effective they are more to the effective communication rather than in MDTs, but I will send to you and I will upload them as well so you can have some more knowledge about the effective communication as well.
Can you send this presentation? Can you upload this presentation on Moodle?
Yeah, sure, why not? I will upload this one as well, and I'm recording this meeting as well. So we'll send the recording link to you. I won't say this straight after this conversation. After this meeting, I will send to you because I have some other urgency. But tonight, I will send it to you.
What sort of the recording? Because I wasn't able to hear you throughout of the conference.
I couldn't understand, sir.
I wasn't able to hear you out of the conference. I'm trying to record it from my side, but there was a connection problem. So what if I receive the recording? Should I just send you an email telling you that I haven't received it?
I am recording it.
You're recording it, but if I don't receive the email, should I send you an email telling you that I didn't receive it? Because I'm not receiving emails from you.
No, I will send to you the email that I have been using the same email. I will send to you, and as I said earlier in the start, that I will send you a text message as well. and will let you know that I will send you an email tonight. And if hopefully you will receive it, if somehow the email is not just in inbox, and you check the spam box as well, then let me know that you haven't. And that if you haven't, then you can write your email to me, and then again I will send the stuff at that time.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you.
All right, no problem. So then we come to prospect of communication in multidisciplinary teams. There are different perspectives. I should have different perspectives, prospects of communicate different perspectives, or perspectives actually, different perspectives, or between team members, between members of the team, yeah, intra-communication, between team members and the patient and their carers, intercommunication that we call them, communication skills, trainings for team members with direct contact, especially in breaking bad news, adequate time for patients to consider treatment options. Here we have said bad news. So this is, I just gave example, just two examples before. One is when someone is diagnosed, God forbid, with cancer. It is very big bad news. Then, and in case of a woman, if pregnancy is not very well or very good, in those cases, the options, any option, either way, one way or the other, are difficult. In those cases, the communication skills of a person who is in direct contact with the service users are very important. So move on. The different perspectives of communication. If you look at the professional responsibilities, so the professional responsibilities mean the multidisciplinary team should identify who will communicate with the patient at significant points along the patient's treatment pathway. Like, for example, we have given the example of cancer or pregnancy thing. So in MDT, or in cases where the person is with lifelong diseases, in those cases, then it is any member of the team who is thought to be effective at communication, or more cool-minded, or this kind of person is selected to deal directly with there is a training is given, obviously, in health and social care, because you are working with vulnerable individuals directly. So in those situations, training is provided to how to communicate, how to talk to service users. But there are some different situations, different points where a senior person or a more confident person is required to break a news, or is required to give the options, different options to the service users. So here, as we can see here, multidisciplinary team members should attend regular professional development sessions, and which focus on communication skills training, which should include communication with patients, families, and carers, communication between team members, and breaking bad news. So breaking bad news is obviously something that needs a senior person, an expert person, a person who is very effective at communication. Another very important stage in multidisciplinary team working, as far as the communication prospect is concerned, is the consultation. Here you can see some main bullet points and some points under. So, for example, you can see timing of consultation, environment, patient support. These are all the part of consultation process, right till end. So the consultation, so the timing of consultation is, for example, the soon after diagnosis, time suitable to patient. So timing of consultation is, the consultation should take place as soon as possible after diagnosis has been confirmed or a treatment plan agreed. The consultation should be at a time suitable to the patient, family or carer, and appropriate member of multidisciplinary team. The time allocated for the consultation should allow patients and carers the opportunity to fully understand the information that is being given to them and for questions to be asked. Timing is important. Then comes the environment. Environment, few things are private, quiet, comfortable. So the environment, a consultation which involves a consultation which involves communication of significant news should take place in a dedicated environment which is private, quiet, and comfortable. This facility should be available in both inpatient and outpatient settings. At consultation, appropriate actions should be taken to prevent interruptions. This should include diverting mobile phone, delegating brief devices to a colleague, and informing members of staff that interruptions will not be permitted. Faraheen, hello?
Yeah.
Could you please just hold on because I feel someone is at my door. So I'm just coming in a second to you. Sorry, my apologies.
Oh God, again it's falling. Does it get damaged when it falls? Thanks.
In my lap the chicken and I took it out and put it in the bag.
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, sorry. Actually, there was some neighbor, someone at the door. I just put them on hold and
Yeah.
I will cover with you. Anyhow, so then next comes patient support. So this means an assessment of the patient's capability to understand information that is being communicated to them. So should be undertaken prior to the consultation. So where necessary, arrangements such as the provision of an interpreter should be made available at the time of consultation. At the time of the consultation, patients should have the opportunity to be accompanied by a friend or relative. That is very understandable. Information about the patient should only be shared with carers or family members with the permission of the patient. The spiritual and cultural needs should be acknowledged by the multidisciplinary professionals within the consultation environment. Then very important comes language that is being used. So language information given during the consultation should be delivered in a way the patient hearer can easily understand. The use of jargon, technical language, technical terms should be avoided unless fully explained. Sometimes we use some abbreviations. We, in our work setting, we are very much familiar with those settings, but the patient or service user, they are not very much familiar. For example, if you go to a service user and you tell them, okay, I am going to give you IV injection, IV. So now it's, you know that IV means intravenous. You are going to put something into the veins, but that term is not very much, the service user is not very much familiar with that IV term. You need to explain to them. So, and then comes the body language. We have said many things about body language and appearance. The impact of body language and appearance should not be underestimated. Your postures, style, and manner will affect the progress and outcome of the consultation. Therefore, body language throughout the consultation should convey a complete focus on the patient. We have said so many things are your eyes, how you look at the person, your face expressions, gestures, everything conveys a meaning. Then scope of the consultation. The information conveyed during the consultation should be appropriate to the individual patient's needs at that particular point in their care pathway. The professional should explore the knowledge of the patient and make a professional judgment as to how much information the patient would like to receive during the consultation. Then close of consultation. The professional should offer the patient verbal and written information to support the consultation's discussion. The contact details of the named member of the multidisciplinary team member should be given to the patient should a further clarification, support, and advice be required. So these are all the things. Sorry, it's stuck. My computer is stuck. It's not going any further. So, and the next one comes the written information. In written information, the multidisciplinary team should agree clearly defined information pathways which run in parallel with the treatment pathways. There should be clear documentation of the information that has been offered and received by the patient at each point along their cancer journey. Or, for example, any other thing. Written information should include background information about the specific problem or disorder, details of the treatment options, whatever options are there. So all these things are very, very important to be conveyed in a precise, concise manner. Information about MDT and sport services, details of local self-help and sport groups and other appropriate organizations, generic information about benefits, advice, employment rights, etc. So all these written information should be available to the service user. So communication in health and social care, as I have said many times earlier, is very, very important because any misunderstanding, for example, in dosage, in injections, or any other kind of instructions, because they are dependent on you, can lead to something very serious. So this was about our today's session, learning outcome 4.1 and 4.2. That was about the communication impact as well as the effective what is effective communication while you are working with vulnerable individuals. So 4.3, 4.4, I will cover with you next time. So any questions for me, Faraheen, so far?
Some of the information on that's already on Moodle is for 2.2 for the task 2. Is in am I required to do a lot of my independent research, or would there be other things uploaded onto Moodle?
Actually, your voice just spoke down. You're asking me, will I be loading other things on the Moodle?
You know, for the task 2, for the task 2, 3, and 4, is there going to be things uploaded onto Moodle, the more information.
So
More
far, what
documents.
I uploaded, that was the thing, because I have said for few more books.
Yeah.
As I get more books or articles, I will upload them.
Okay, that's fine.
I have asked Mr. Ramanjit Singh as well, because sometimes if we find any book very good or article good, so we buy them, I will subscribe to them, and then we can upload. So I am also in communication with Ramanjit Singh. If there happens anything, I will upload on Moodle.
Yeah.
And
And you know when they say stakeholders,
Mhm.
what's the what do they mean when they say stakeholders?
Stakeholders means all the parties. Stake means sometimes you say, yeah, go on.
The services, or does it mean the services, or is it different?
Stakeholders means all the parties, their interests are involved, or all the parties who have their interests, all the parties whose interests are at stake, stakeholders, all the shareholders, you can say, all the parties that are involved. For example, the stakeholders in health and social care mean the patient service users, their friends, families, you as a sport worker, or any person, the teams. They are all, because whatever is going to happen, that is going to affect you. So you can say the stakeholders in any situation are the parties, are the individuals who are affected by the decisions, who are affected by anything that happens there. You can say they are the stakeholders. Like for example, as we say, health and social care, the service users are the big stakeholders, because whatever happens, that affects them. You, sport worker, or somebody else there, that affects them. The friends and families of the service users, that affects them. So all the people who are affected by, they are the stakeholders. Who are part of the decision or who are affected by, they are the stakeholders. Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yes. Hello?
Yeah. I think that's about it. If I have any more questions, I'll email you.
No problem, Brian. No problem. So
tonight.
Yeah.
Sorry, I have one more question. I've just thought of. For level 4, how much detail do you have to go into? Like, how much research do you have to do, and how much research do you have to include? Do you have to talk about currently what's happening in the NHS and?
Not only, and obviously in England we talk about NHS quite a lot, and NHS. So obviously when at level 4, it's the first. So there should be some. I'm expecting some references.
Yeah.
At level 3 it's all right, but at level 4, at least in your one essay, there should be at least three references, 3 or 4 references there should be.
Yeah.
There could be a book, there could be any research topic or something else.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
All right, okay, fine. Then take care, look after yourself.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for being with me, and you should expect something tonight from me.
Okay, thank you very much.
Oh, okay, thank you. Bye. Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.